When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you? What? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? Do you really hate me so much, but I'm so cute?
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold on to you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. Oh, whoops. And so the curtain opened once again, and deadly judgment, and deadly deception, and deadly betrayal, deadly riddle, deadly defense, and deadly faith, deadly class trial. Let's save there. FYI, I didn't Google this part, so I literally don't know who did it. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is really confusing one. I think Kyoko, in the grand scheme of things, has something to do with it. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the game she came out and said like, oh, I've actually had part in every single one of the murders. But that's also me. I say things that are super far-fetched. It never ends up being what I say, so who knows? Let's set skills, because we actually have more now, so... Extraordinary Focus. Increases the focus gauge by 2. Effective during the class trial. Costs 2 SP. Bingo. Neural Liberation. The focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time. Effective during the non-stop debate, the Hangman's Gambit, and the bullet time battle. Costs 5. Holy cow, that costs a lot. Breathing technique. Focus gauge recovers more quickly. Effective during the non-stop. Yep. Okay. So, yep. That as well. I think that, yeah, that's everything we have. That's actually pretty good there. Finish prep. Bah, 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 bah.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
It is currently about 9:45 for me, so keep that in mind. We're definitely not going to be finishing this tonight, so maybe we'll finish it over the weekend. Depends on what's going on with my family, but we'll see.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
Oh, you've moved on to another character in Destiny? Oh my gosh. I forgot that you like to level up all 3. That's a grind, dude. It's a grind.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the Blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Oh, owie. You're making yourself seem like, a suspect, big time. I'm so sorry, waifu.
Was that?
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
You've been playing some Breakpoint for Wolf? Oh yeah? That's nice. Holy cow, so you're like super high level then.
Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
How are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
Someone could have planted all that stuff in his room once they stuck him in the locker, remember that? Next part of the season is technically 972? Holy cow, is anyone there yet?
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
Crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Oh my gosh. Are they basically trying to make Hiro kind of doubt everything and just start admitting to stuff? I don't think it's Hiro. He's way too dumb. Way too dumb. Someone placed him in this room? I think so. I think that Hifumi... No, yeah, Hifumi killed Taka in the equipment room. Celeste moved Taka from the equipment room to the repository using the cart. And then someone killed Hifumi up in the repository. Is Hiro really the killer, or before anything else, we have to make that clear, he is not the killer. Make your argument.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Oops.
I
No!
don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why?
Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Isn't there like something I can do with those purple things? I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is actually pretty neat.
Everything we found in
Oops.
your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the
that's how you do it.
culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
You think it was Aoi impinning it on Hiro?
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Now he's pretty dumb as well. For the most part, yeah.
Everything we found
Oops.
in your room.
The blueprints, the suit parts.
They are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I'm getting really confused here.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill...
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the
Whoop,
suit
whoops.
parts.
They are all proof in...
No, what's wrong?
The Shmoo prints.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
He did not.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
Yep, which we never found where it
The
is.
handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you
Whose
could think
handwriting
the
is
same
that?
person made both of them.
Everyone write down stuff now.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Look at Byakuya!
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Oh no. Oh no. Is this just gonna seem too silly? Technically, Hiro was in the suit when we found him. It wasn't Hina, I think, because when she tried to put it on, it didn't fit. That's right, they're all working behind the scenes to try and set me up. Those dudes are super scary for serious. Dang it! It only fits him, yeah.
I got it!
I was hoping it was gonna be like, I was like,
Hero.
maybe.
I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. We never found
Byakuya
any
is like
kind of
almost
second
the
suit.
same size, guys. Why wasn't that a choice?
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
Byakuya, come
That
on.
doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
Right.
So what you're saying is...
It was someone else that set him up.
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What?
Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
Aoi, you need to stop.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
Okay.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been the blue tart.
I got it!
Still one more thing. There is. And the dolly.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Might be Genocide Jill. She could have changed her MO to try and pin it on someone else, because remember, she kills men. I don't know. She says that she doesn't like to kill it with anything else other than her scissors. But there were no knives or scissors or anything. Yeah. I don't think she'd go that far off. And then don't forget too, she also places her victims in a certain way. And they were both just on the ground.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there.
It was. She could have changed her
But
MO.
when the body disappeared,
I don't think so.
So did the dolly.
Also, she stated that she won't kill anyone now that people already know her identity. Oh, I did miss that. I bet she wouldn't mind being an
Later, when
accomplice.
Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
I am not mistaken.
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Yep.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
You're trying to trick me. And it's kind of working.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
What? I think that was a dig at me.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Oh my goodness. I'm offended. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to the bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? I guess. Plus might have something to do with it, but I'm just guessing. I think she does. I think she was in on it. I think she was an accomplice. She's talking to me, not Makoto. You know what? That just I'm double offended. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements no matter how locked you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the right and left mouse buttons. It will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all, in which case you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. I hate these ones.
You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
Hello?
You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
Final strike.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
That's the best we've ever done at that. During the most games you streamed, Shadow has made an appearance of what's talked about in some way every single game that happens.
I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the
She'll
main
forever haunt me,
subject.
that's probably true.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
You can't bend down in the costume. Don't forget that. You can't bend down. If I look at how the body was moved, it will be clear. It'll be clear that why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? The dolly didn't actually have a handle that like came up and like it was something to pull. You actually had to like get down and like pull it from the actual dolly itself. And we established that in that costume you couldn't bend down. Robo-Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Oh, oops. Never mind. I should always try and listen to it all the way through at least once.
As we know, Taka was killed in the
And from there,
Yeah, then loaded it on.
now,
Keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Oh, what? Man, I hate these things. I hate these things.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment, and from there.
Yeah, then loaded it on.
Now, keep in mind.
Well, yeah. But even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Nope,
Then you
nope.
could push
Ah,
the dolly
crap.
up so the killer
Right there.
can cut at the bottom.
If you accept, then you must realize that. Sorry. I don't
Sorry.
realize anything.
Hey, sorry.
As we know, and
I'm
from
just
there-
always like way too quick. Like,
Then loaded it on.
Now,
Keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have it.
Well, yeah. All you'd have to do is
is bend over, but you can't in that costume.
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a
He could have
dolly
gotten into the
without a
costume after he
handle
did the
if you
murders,
stoop
then
down low.
throw them off his trail. Probably not, because everyone was in so many different places. They probably would have caught that. Like, as he was carting them down, the costume would have been somewhere. I don't know. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down
But
low.
if you were
But if you were
wearing
wearing
that
that suit,
Do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
nope.
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight. Also, she's saying you can't see, I'm assuming through the helmet, right? Which the killer most likely used because they're like, oh, he won't be able to see who's moving him into that locker.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Push or pull it even.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet?
Mm-hmm.
You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Also, you probably wouldn't have the dexterity to hold someone like Hifumi in that one shot that they showed us.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
That's what Leo said. There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body because you can't take it off by yourself. Yep.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. Looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect him.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
So basically, is this what's being considered? Yeah, like
To
yeah.
be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
Right.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
Yes, but Celeste, if you were in on it, you guys could have just planned this whole thing, like playing the picture.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice, or that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Oh, Aoi, either you're getting really deceived or you're in on this.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I think she's talking about herself.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself.
Sakura remembers everything.
We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
Okay.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
Robo-Justice.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to...
Ooh, I can hit... Okay. Where's Taka? 5'9", 146 pounds, 31-inch chest. He would not have fit into the robot costume. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
Ding! What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something's moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Yeah! What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on. You have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
Dead.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time. Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Okay, now I'm starting to get really confused. They're confusing me. Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room. So we...
Oops, sorry. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
Welcome back. I'm just here getting my brain all jumbled. What you missed? They're recapping everything, like all of the evidence, or all of the investigation points. Oh man.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
Uh-huh. You're kidding. Really?
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Your mind break it? Yep.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
Yep, it's basically 2 murders. Like, we have to consider it separate. Like, 2 investigations.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What
No,
makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
No. It's not obvious. The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order? They were not.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka
Wait.
came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Wait, no.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer.
While Taka's death,
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order the Taka came last.
Did I miss it?
it's true that while Taka's death,
Aw, man, I used it.
So it's
Dang
obvious
it.
Taka came after.
So,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
it's true that while Taka's death,
See?
Hifumi.
So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order the Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Come on.
So,
I'm so bad at
regarding
this.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Okay,
it's true that
we got it this
while
time.
Taka's death,
See? So
See?
it's obvious Taka came after.
You gotta see here.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
There we go. That's what I meant to do.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
You're having a good laugh at my expense.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. Holy wristwatch. Oh, whoops. I need an A. I need a hero. I need a C. I need an H. I need an H. I need an H. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, nailed it.
Now I understand.
Okay.
I got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Hey you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared. Okay, so you can't see his wristwatch, but obviously he has one on him because he was telling us what time it was. It's almost 10 o'clock. You know that. Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
Yep.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
Yep.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
Oh, snap.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's true.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Why does that sound like something that happened in the physics lab? Kid pronouncers must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
But no one checked the body. He was still alive.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
Because he wasn't really dead.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
I don't think so.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Exactly.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
Yeah, now I'm starting to feel like, yeah, Hifumi could have moved the body himself.
for now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
It didn't get moved. Someone killed him in the repository.
That's true. We searched everywhere.
Who took
but we
alter ego?
couldn't
I know,
figure
it's like
out
no
how
one
to
cares about
explain
that
his
anymore.
Body disappearing.
I would assume it was Hifumi, but I don't know. I think that alter ego is now a robot. That's what I think. That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body
And
disappearing.
according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
And for the record, Hifumi is 325 pounds, according to his report card.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. There is no way that they're going to try and pull this whole entire thing like, well, Monokuma did tell you that the thing in the physics lab was a time machine that will go back 1 minute.
If the dead body were to
Okay,
move
good.
itself.
Good. Kyoko, I agree. I agree. Huh?
The dead body moved on its own?
It wasn't dead.
No! Not another ghost!
That was great.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
You know, as much as we hate Byakuya, he's actually a very smart dude. He's this guy knows exactly what's going on.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
No one checked him.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
No, it is possible, bro. The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? No one checked him for some reason.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that?
I don't think so.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Sure, the body's discovery announcement was only made once. But Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible.
Oops, no, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, good. Thank God.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I think I actually have to take one of the other things that they're saying. Sure, the body discovery announcement was only made once.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Oh, no.
And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found him, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Okay. I suck at this. I like never actually know how to do this. Oh, come on. Nobody believes me. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Ah. Oh, gosh.
Is this...
Oh, my stars. Can't give up. Hello, I'm hitting the buttons. Oh, this is annoying.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is... Are we real? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
What did I do this time? I suck at this game. That's what I did.
Are you saying that when we first found, there's a chance he was actually
Still alive.
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. How? Surely you heard the body discovery. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, no. Shoot it. No!
And
Dang
that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
So, Sakura might have a photograph. I don't know, maybe.
Are you saying
Maybe
that
one
when we
has
first
actual gaming
found
consoles.
Hifumi in the
Yep.
nurse's office,
Oh, what the heck?
there's a chance he was actually still alive?
That's what you get for reading chat.
No. It is in Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, 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 no. No!
And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually
Still alive.
No.
Hifumi was dead, and you know that.
Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Oh, come on.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the
That's not what I meant to do.
made.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that
Getting
when
ready
we
for bed?
first
Okay.
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No!
Oh, gosh, finally. Oh, my goodness.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
I don't think
Of
so.
course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
They died so close
Maybe.
together.
But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Something that someone mentioned was that you need at least 3 people to find the dead body before an announcement is made. So what I think had happened is that there hadn't been 3 people who had found one of the bodies yet.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second body discovery announcement, first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office. When we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time was when both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
They didn't show it in that picture, but I think Genocide Jill was on the ground. Or about to wake up.
If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them discovered for the first time.
Which was
So,
Hifumi.
when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office,
He wasn't actually dead yet.
actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know!
Do you know?
Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he
Welcome
was
back.
still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. The glasses and the handkerchief.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned,
Oh, come on.
Well, here's
I
one
get
thing
trigger
we do
happy,
know.
guys. I get trigger happy. It
The
takes
first
too
time
long.
we found Hifumi's, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time, it was in the...
But when you compare his body other than the change, there was no.
no notable difference.
Then, was he really still
hello?
alive?
Of course not. It is impossible.
It's the last thing there. I hadn't even done any
Well,
missions
here's
yet.
one
What?
thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Oh, wow.
And then his body disappeared.
And the next time, it was in...
But when you compare his body other than the
Change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Then, was
I-
he really still alive?
I get so confused
Of
as like
course
what I have to.
It is
I have to do
impossible.
right click,
This is
right click,
ridiculous.
or try and hit both of those purple
Well,
things
here's
at the
one
same
thing.
time,
The first time we
and
found him,
then hit the other
his
thing.
body
And the next time, it was
Along with
in...
hitting
But when you compare his body
Spacebar.
other than the change, there was no.
Notable difference.
No, no, crap. Did I get it?
Shoot! Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time, it was in the...
But when you compare his body other than the change, there was
No notable difference.
Yes, there was a difference.
No!
Thank God. Gosh.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Did you just try to refute her statement with her own statement? Shut up.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us
But
in?
yes. I get confused
When
with
we
all
found
the
Hifumi
different
in the
buttons that they
nurse's
use.
office,
Like
his
they don't
glasses
use
were
like
covered
regular
with
buttons.
blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless.
next year, 2019. That's right.
And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
That no one else knew about. Even if I found in the trash can was right here.
I got it!
I got it!
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
Okay.
The character
Have a great
was
night. The character was Princess Pig was from Demon Angel
from
Pretty
Demon
Pudgy
Angel Pretty
Princess.
Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
He had said that he lost the camera.
I wouldn't be caught
Right?
dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office.
Yep.
He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He sure
He
did.
figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was probably Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
Yep, which means someone was in there murdering what's-his-face.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
That's right.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
Why not?
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Yes, please.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The note. I think that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
That just sounds weird.
What?
He stuffs his pants with notes.
Yes, his pants.
His pads.
Okay, well, Forget about the pants for now. And take a look at what the note says.
Found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
But you told me that yours said 1 a.m.
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
Do you think maybe he's just forgetting?
See, then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
Yeah.
It's not the same?
The moron, kind of.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants. Wait a second. Yeah, didn't I get that letter?
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
Uh-oh. She used our line.
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Huffy?
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka,
Yep,
and
because of his
Huffy
watch.
is Hifumi,
And Huffy
right?
because short for Hifumi.
Ugh, yes!
Objection!
Why must you ruin it every time?
Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Oh no. Broken wristwatch, Hifumi's glasses. Oh no.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Time of the note said 6 a.m. What happened to 6 a.m.? That's what I need to clear up.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Whoa.
Huffy had the note, then the person it was must have been Huffy!
But remember, what time did it... 6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Yes, it does.
No, it's wrong.
It does. Objection. Okay.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where he was killed and then dragged out of and put into the repository.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
She's super nonchalant
Then
about
someone
everything.
used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Yep.
Where's your proof?
Or he ripped it
ahead.
from
Show us.
his hands. Prove that Hifumi stole the note from Taka. Give Taka a scrap of paper.
I got it!
Makes me think of
When I
Leo when
searched
she's
Taka's
angry.
body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, The sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it!
Yep.
It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap.
Yep.
Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Oh no. No. Hero, no. Just shut up. Forever, just shut up.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Oh, here we go.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Me, Sakura, and Aoi all went right to the repository and said that the door was locked. So for us three, we're fine.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Why would she call her a walrus?
Who are you calling a walrus?
That don't make no sense.
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi.
Are you kidding me? Like the one time that he's actually making sense?
Then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that
One
skull of
time.
yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
Wait a second, there was also a hammer that when we looked at it, it looked like it had been cleaned.
Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find truth. It was the other hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
No.
well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers! And, that's about it.
No. Yep, it's the wash one.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
No.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Shoot!
She wants to do something to my adorable face.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it
Bye,
Justice
Leo, Leo's
Hammer
boyfriend.
3?
Have a good night.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Murdergear.com/hammertime.
The murder
Don't look that
weapon
up.
had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, it was a spotless hammer. I think for the host as well.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
It was a spotless one.
Seriously? A different
Stop.
weapon?
Hammer time.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones,
Yep.
and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Yep.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
You're right there, Celeste. Who says she's fine with staying here forever?
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Oh, Celeste. We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but...
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Can we really say there's no chance two people work together on this?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
two murderers,
Based
two
on
culprits
the
at the
rules
same
that have been
time?
laid out for us, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule...
But that only really applies if there's one murder. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible.
That is...
But that only really applies if there's one. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Ah, come on.
Based on the
Oops.
rules that have been laid out, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is...
But that only really applies if in this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out, even if more than one, only the one who actually can, assuming the rule holds true.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Man.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
Why is CRG not working as intended with this part? What do you mean?
Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
Basically, they get nothing
The
out of it.
payoff for working together.
The reward that
The
balances
reward
out
that
the risk of
balances
taking
out
part
the
in the
risk
scheme.
of taking part in the scheme.
Yep, they'd end up with nothing.
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
But if you don't need the benefit, or if you don't need a benefit,
However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
took me a while to figure out, dude, it's not easy.
They made
It's
him
not
carry
easy.
out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murderers were the same, that was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good
I
she is at
understand
this.
how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and then in the end murdered him. In the debates up until now, the way the case has unfolded when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. It's it's Celeste. But... Can I save? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm really nervous right now. Oh, and Wolf. I didn't even realize that it's Wolf. What's up, man? It's Celeste, I think.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
I've never gotten one of these wrong, so this could be the first time right here.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
Oh no. Did I choose wrong?
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
Doing better than yesterday? That's good, man. Yeah, you said that the doctor said that maybe you could go home next week, which would be great. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him would go within 10 feet.
Shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Whoa.
Pardonnez-moi.
Well, there was a new side of Celeste that we hadn't seen.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Byakuya, like, this dude.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What it is that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common, encountering this suspicious individual, the screaming, the paper hidden in Hifumi's pants. Uh-oh, I can't remember if it's the first or second one. Okay, so it wasn't that. Dang it. It was the first one. Okay.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit.
Oh, did her accent change? She said pardonnez-moi, which is French, so I don't know. That's all I heard. I was like, huh? The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
Oh, what? Excuse me, what just happened there?
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Well, yeah, because they had a cover for each other.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
And remember, she's like the ultimate liar or something as well.
And not too long after
as
that,
gambler.
Do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, that strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yep, she basically got us far enough away so Hifumi could move the bodies and whatever. Like, got us to a different area at different times. Actually, that was before. Came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split up into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
Oh, really? Was that loud? Because it didn't seem that loud to me.
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
And that's why no one wanted to check. Because they were like, oh, he's murdered.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
She's a gambler. She kept her game face on.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then
That's when Hifumi slipped out.
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
There it is. It's my poker face, my poker face.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but
she said
don't
guys.
Understand what's so strange about it.
She was acting like she was basically saying like, oh, I already know that that they're both going to be dead.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
Yep, she was not there.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Yep, but she said guys.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
You know what? Byakuya? As much as I hate him, I love him. He's kind of like Kyoko. Like, for some reason, he, like, knows exactly what to do. and say. Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what, excuse me, is he alluding to?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Hello?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated.
Elated.
We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
She said that she should only have known about Hifumi's death. With that in mind, what's so strange about what she said is...
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us stand. They must be positive. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just and that is all I...
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
No! Oh my gosh. You know what? Like, it's funny. It's what we've been playing this game for like 20-something hours. I still don't understand how to do this right.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. And that is all I said.
Crap.
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay, so maybe pull out So Strange, and then shoot it when she says those guys.
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I'm so bad at these. So bad.
They must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. Just like those.
No.
There we go. I'm really bad at these.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both
I was
guys?
so trigger happy.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imagination.
It's not my imagination.
You claim that
Running
I
away
was
with me.
lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
That was staged.
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
The game is called Trigger Happy Havoc. Yep, and they chose the right guy that would use all the bullets
Have you
too quickly.
completely forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
No. Other explanations? It wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. The only other possibility is Hifumi and the suspect are dancing. Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. Hifumi and the suspect had been drinking. Might be Hifumi trying to, like, pick him up and, like, move him. Maybe? Photoshopped.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
How did they put him asleep? That's what I'm wondering.
Such a thing is utterly impossible.
How?
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
How is that ridiculous?
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
The dude weighs like 130 pounds. It's not that bad.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks that she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Oh no.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No,
Then the
but
fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
no,
No way!
the robot suit can't bend. Remember? Yep. Okay, cool. So I'm
dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
You tried to make me look like the
Like
bad
I
guy.
said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Good night, Wolf.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Good night, Wolf. Take care, bud. Rest up. It surely can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right!
That's right. They totally made a
They
mistake
totally
when
made
they.
a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'll let her do it.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole
That's
thing.
a lot of work that they put into make that suit
The
just
point of it
for
all
this.
was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate? Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Okay, she's changed. She's not speaking in a French accent. I wonder if her whole entire thing of like, oh, I never want to leave here. I wonder if that was kind of like to trick us, like, oh, I would never murder somebody because I don't care if I leave or not.
Celeste? Clearly! You want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
She doesn't have a French accent anymore. It's gone.
Already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
I think it was all part of the plan, like, hey, or no, that couldn't have been. Hifumi didn't want to die. Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
We don't really know Celeste's real name.
He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
Wait. Also, was she in the room when that happened? I don't think she should know that, right?
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Okay, she is, she's not helping herself out. Not at all.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He gave everyone nicknames? Oh,
Shoot!
dang it. Okay.
Think back to how did he refer to each of us?
He said people's last names? He would call me Mr. Naegi. Yeah.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name. Hagakure.
Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
Yep.
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
We don't know Celeste's real name.
No. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
Oh my gosh. Girl, your accent's gone.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg.
No.
Would you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Nope. Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Shoot.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something.
Okay.
He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you?
My name is...
Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, we do. Handbook.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Here it comes.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because... Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle.
Oh my.
Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Begin. Oh my. Okay, so they're talking. In this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? What the heck is this? Is that potato chips? I don't... What? I don't... What? I don't know. This? It doesn't seem right. What time did the killers call their victim to the rec room? 1 a.m. So that goes there. Who was it that the killers summoned first? What? Yasuhiro. They put him in the suit, okay. They knocked him out and stuffed him in the Robo-Justice suit to falsify their evidence. And they used a certain item to do it. Wait, what? Wait, what? They knocked him out and stuffed him in the Robo-Justice suit to falsify their evidence, and they used a certain item to do it. Bingo! Yeah, he's innocent. What time was Taka supposed to head to the equipment room? 6 a.m. Nope, nope, go back, go back. I'm guessing it's that watch. Yeah. Couldn't be anything else. Bam! Justice Hammer that was used to kill Taka, what number was it? Oh crap, it was 4, wasn't it? In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. In the library, he used something... Two? Oh my gosh. Which Justice Hammer was in the nurse's office when Hifumi was pretending to be dead? Wait, wasn't it 2? Shoot. Yeah, at least the previous murders happened to Tsuchihida the moment, and they really only happened because they cracked under the pressure, while Celeste's actual reason for this is really evil. Yeah. She got multiple people dead. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Yeah, I think it was this. Because they didn't actually draw blood. Which shows the chamber was in the nurse's office when Hifumi was... Okay, that was 3. Hifumi used something to move the Taka's body. Okay. That was this, right? Oh, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but we'll see. The weapon the killer used to murder Hifumi? What was it? It was, this one. Let's see. I think... The thing from the first cell, I just really don't understand. Watch. Right here. In this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? I mean, he was attracted to her, but like, he's sweating there. It wasn't potato chips. Thank you for the good vibes. I think maybe alter ego? I don't see a computer here though. We'll try this.
Here's exactly what happened.
We'll try.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Oh, okay.
Hifumi.
There we go.
With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Tick, 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 tick.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
That someone being Hiro.
That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him,
and did you see that? They drugged him
and stuffed him into the Robo Justice suit.
It's too bad we never found it.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Oh man, with ferocity.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story.
They basically fixed the crime scene.
The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office.
Yep.
This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for.
I like the one in the middle there.
Justice Hammer 3, and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room.
Alter Ego is the laptop that Chihiro made an AI, and he called it Alter Ego, and it's basically learning as it's getting used. And Hifumi had like fallen in love with it.
He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository.
Yep.
That should cover everything that happened in this case.
Whoa. What is this? Are they gonna make out?
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
At times, Makoto sounds like Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Interesting.
I lost?
Yeah, you
When
did.
was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
I want to know what her real name is, though.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
There it
I'm the
is.
person. Once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Holy cow. Well, there it is. Oh, what? I got C's? Altogether, I got an A. Nice. 88 medals.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin.
Listen to her voice.
Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
Yep. Execution.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
If you would,
Victory?
please
Did this a
locate
lot
your lever
sooner
and
than I thought.
cast
I know,
your
right?
vote.
That's good. I'm glad that we kept on going.
And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Ow. Woohoo! Yay! Woohoo! Ah, yeah. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with his plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. Alter ego. Yep. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Is she talking about alter ego? Yep.
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about? And this all started because we started looking for alter ego, which apparently now we know who it was that took it. Hopefully we can get into her room or something and find the laptop.
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night after we had our meeting about how it had appeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually...
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
What?
Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. Oh man, she pitted them against each other. That's... Okay, yeah.
So then...
Yep, that's how she did it. It was like, oh, you guys both love this machine. I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I had found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me. He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me. Oh no.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime, an absolute crime. I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. Oh my gosh. She's an awful human being. Like, absolutely awful. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to...
Unforgivable!
Wow. Wow. Poor Hifumi. She drove him to that point. Yeah, and then Taka too. Like, he was just... He couldn't get over his friend's death. Wait, please. Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually...
Taka's planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean Taka's going to try to kill you.
What?
Indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself. That bastard. Bastard.
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
Actually...
Then would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Oh my goodness. Oh. And Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me, and I as well. I have another question for you. What was that strange... Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. Fair enough. That's it.
Let's see.
In that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually left him alive?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And you really believe that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
It's not an issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about
No,
that.
he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. That's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But...
But all along, you've been busy saying how we have to accept living here. That's what I kept on saying.
You little
Obviously,
bitch.
that was a lie. Yep,
Hey!
she was lying. I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little
I want to get out.
bitch.
Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And have people kiss her feet? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. They all have red eyes. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Okay, so I'm glad that they're actually showing us like what someone had planned for when they got out. Because they haven't been showing that for anyone else. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge,
There
but
is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I? She's a vampire. Yep. Well, yeah. Yeah, she's
Just
like the worst. You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own needs. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should have been saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right, I don't fear death, kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, If I had a choice then,
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The Blackened disturbed the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got.
Are they gonna put her, like,
It's
on a
punishment
roulette
time!
wheel? Because that'd be hilarious.
I guess
Well,
I'll let Kyoko hold on
scary.
to this.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
What?
Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
In another life. In another time. Oh gosh, prepare your butts. Those red eyes. She's smiling. Okay, looks like she got her castle. With a bunch of Monokumas. The burning of the Versailles Witch. This is very quiet. What? Huh? Yeah, that was really random. Like, the only one that's actually, like, really fit the crime, or not really fit the crime, but fit the person was the first one. It's over. Third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Geez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. Wait, don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
Strange.
Did he just crash a fire truck into her? Yes. I guess the whole thing was like, I guess it was supposed to be like, hey, we're gonna set her on fire, but oh no, here comes someone to save her, and then it turns out like, no, it's just you're to squish her. So sick of people asking me that. And give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey! Hey!
So what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh, what's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me? What?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me, what did you do to my body?
Ooh, how exciting.
Oh man, oh geez, oh man, oh geez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
What? But to be fair, she always loved that old world stuff like witches and vampires. From what it looked like, she wanted to die in witch's fire. Then he ruined the death she wanted. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, alright. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave to you? Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers. Huh? Where Alter Ego is. What? Then that means Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check. It's
Indeed.
right where it was. It's right where it was the whole time. Good idea. No one bothered to check, like other lockers. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do we even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know? Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Sitting here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. It's true. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
But it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then,
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. As the locker swung open, we saw...
You're really cold.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon, maybe as early as tomorrow. Doing my best, so please wait just a little while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second since we have this opportunity? I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
you...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? It just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No. I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious people believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you just a little bit more. Then?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she'd told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back... She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Oh my gosh. I guess we'll just have to find out next time. Wow. Yeah. Here. Yes. Alright. It is now midnight, which it means it's officially nighttime and I need to get to sleep. It sounds like she's a spy. Sounds like it. But we'll find out next time. For sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out and going through this with me. This was crazy. That was a crazy trial. Crazy. But bye-bye, Celeste. Good riddance, but rip to Hifumi and Taka. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for me. I'm going to make this real nice and quick. If anyone out there is new to the channel, want to be informed of when I stream again, I stream starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We usually go about 2 or 3 hours. Tonight we went a little longer because this trial was a little long, but it gets more confusing from here. Great. I think we're getting close to the end. Yeah. But that's pretty much all I'm going to say for tonight. Again, thank you so much for hanging out. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time. This will be up on YouTube probably by Sunday. This one's gonna, because this cast was about 4 hours, so I'm gonna have to cut this into like 2-hour chunks to put onto YouTube, so it doesn't take forever to upload. But yeah, I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.